If you second guess God, if you second guess whether or not his word can still apply to you, if you second guess whether or not he still has love for you, if you second guess whether or not he still has restoration, then you lose access to that original intention. I wish I could say that real good. Because that's all the enemy that's all the enemy does, is he makes us begin to second guess God. If you second guess God, you'll second guess yourself. Because now if I can't believe what God says about me, then I can't trust where God places me. I can't trust what God says that I'm capable of doing. I can get a word in a moment and feel like it came from God, and then the serpent will come and make me second guess the word. In that moment, have you ever been in a Sunday experience? Have you ever been worshiping and you knew without a shadow of a doubt that God gave me that word? The enemy's plan is always to make you second guess what you received. If I make you second guess what you receive, then you won't act on it. That's why the moment you receive a word, you got to claim it and act on it. Sometimes you'll see people, and they did this all the time when I was growing up, but the Lord would give them a word, and they would come and they would lay seed on the altar. And be like, why are they doing that right now? You could do it later. You could do it at any other time. They're doing it because they recognize that I got to act on what God just deposited in my spirit right now. That is our key to defeating the enemy, is that we act into what God says about us. We do the thing that God tells us to do. We position our lives in such a way that we're able to step into the word. And that may mean that we have to restructure our lives. That may mean that we need to restructure our friend groups. But there has to be something in us that says, how do I activate this word? Oh, that's what you got to be willing to ask yourself. When God gives me a word, you have to ask yourself, what is it going to take for me to activate this word? Even if activation just means I let it marinate. I let it play in my mind over and over again. Sometimes there will be one particular thing in a sermon that I know is meant to really minister to where I am in a season, and I meditate on that. And I look for other moments in scripture where God has done something similar or made another promise to someone else, because I gotta look that word in the face. If I'm going to become that word, I don't wanna just hear the word, I wanna do the word. And if I'm gonna do the word, I gotta keep that word in front of me by any means necessary. And I need people who can either speak into the word, or I gotta move away from you because I'm trying to protect the word that God has given me. Sometimes you need to tell people to be silent. I'm trying to protect the word. Sometimes you can't open yourself up to any and everybody because I'm trying to protect this word. There are some environments that will kill the word.